Yo, what's happening? Abellis, I think that's your name from Atlanta. What's happening? What's happening, everybody? See people jumping on here, so it's kind of cool. Have a good question for you. Jay, shoot it, man. Shoot the question. Erica, what's happening? DP, Redlands in the building. Hand for letters. What do you recommend for making custom lettering on shirts? I would suggest something like Photoshop or Illustrator, and then getting you like a vinyl cutter or something will be cool. You can do plasol transfers also. G6 Customs, what's happening? Louie Lou, what's happening? KC, what up? Florida's in here. Isaac, what's going down? TNT, what's up? Live on the Fly, what's happening? What's up, B? I hit you up about the plotter yesterday. Red Street Vinyl, what's happening? Kenneth, what's going down? Hooked Up Clothing, what's up? Mandy Fresh for Life, what's up? Been a minute. Yeah, I ain't been on live in a while. Just wanted to jump on and touch base with everybody. Cam Man, what's going on? New Mexico in here, that's right. Isaac from Vegas. What do you think is the next big wave? I have no idea, man. I never follow trends. I never follow what's popular out right now. For me, I just stick with the classics. As long as you just keep slanging t-shirts, you know what I mean? The world has t-shirts, never goes out of style. So I just like to keep it really classic. When I follow the trends, I don't know if I'm catching the wave at the right time. So that's why I stay away. Where do you order plasol transfers from? I use a lot of different companies. Check out the list or check out the sample pack. That's what we're going to talk about today. Sample pack is coming this week, possibly tomorrow. Damien, what's happening? I need to learn Photoshop. What would you suggest? Learning on YouTube. All you got to do, pick a tool on Photoshop and then type it into YouTube. Like, for instance, say you want to learn about the pen tool. You'll type in Photoshop pen tool tutorial or how to use the pen tool in Photoshop on YouTube. Shitload of videos come up. Learn what each tool does. That way you could figure all the shit out. Doroteo from Washington, what's happening? Local Bones, what's up? Straight off the island, that's right. How much for 200 masks? If you're talking about like masks like the lightweight masks like these, they're like $225 now. $225. So there you have it. You know what I mean? 100 to 500. Oh, if you're talking about getting them printed, you would have to do all the printing on your own or find somebody else to do it. But I could supply the blank ones. Diz going to the post office, that's right. Will Cash, what's happening? Tons of money, that's right. Appreciate that, DP. Do you source neck label transfers from the same vendors you get your other transfers from? Yes and no. The reason I say that is because a lot of companies are starting to use a lot of different ink formulas than they were, let's say, 2 or 3 years ago. So now, some of the companies that I use now, I use the same companies, I just use different ink formulas. That's what in the sample pack is going to be, all the updated ink formulas that I currently use to this day, like right now, today. I still use the same companies, I just use different ink formulas now because, like I said, technology evolves, ink formulas evolve, all that shit is a lot different. So my customer base has a different feel from what they wanted 3 years ago, you know what I mean? But yeah, I still source, I do plastisol transfers for my neck labels. Patrick, what's happening? My question is, say I have a brand called Print Out Demand and I want to use POD on a shirt, but it's a brand with that logo trademark. Can I still use that logo? No, you cannot, Jay Hanna. If that's already you'll be infringing on somebody else's thing. This happens a lot, right? Say you had let's just say your brand name was going to be the same initials as the NBA, right? And you wanted to put NBA on a shirt. NBA owns all the intellectual property that goes along with NBA. It's for good reason, because of brand confusion, right? Say if your brand was called FBI or some shit like that, or NBA or whatever it is, right? Whatever the initials is, it might mean something different for you than it does for the person that owns the trademark. Brand identity is a big thing. That's why people get stuff trademarked. So you would run into the risk of infringing on somebody's stuff. So for me, I would stay away from doing something like that. But for better clarification, I would contact a trademark lawyer. It doesn't hurt. Like, if you were going to invest your money into anything, it would be something like that. Paying a trademark lawyer to actually break down what you can and can't do, right? Whether you're paying for their service or whether you're just paying for legal advice, that's somewhere where you should be able to drop your money. I wouldn't cheap out on that kind of shit, because a few $100s to get the right advice, or a few $1,000s and cripple your business because you made the wrong move and you listened to somebody on YouTube. You know what I mean? So when it comes to anything legal, anything that has to do with copyrights, trademark, shit like that, Yelp search trademark attorney. You know what I mean? Sometimes they do it for free. Sometimes they might charge for their time. But if you're going to invest your money, that's where the investment should go. Sample pack is the easy way to break it down. Sample pack is basically transfer companies that I use. I ordered transfers from them. I made a shitload of samples that look similar to this. So let's say you want to see who I use for multicolor. You were curious about what it looks like. I made transfers that look like this. I made transfers that look like this. I got double color transfers, heat transfer vinyl. I got some other shit in here. Hold on. I got other ones like this. So the reason why I did this, there's a lot of people that started finding my brands and stuff like that on online. I never talk about my brands on YouTube because I keep YouTube separate from any of my brands, any of the t-shirts I sell, any of that stuff. I don't consider anybody that watches my channel as a customer for any of my clothing brands that I run, because I hate cross-pollinating or cross-contaminating what I do on YouTube and what I do as a brand or as a business owner, shit like that. Reason being is because people go into the comments section of, let's say, my brand's Instagram page, and they start talking about YouTube shit, right? Hey, I got a question. Who do you use for Plastisol transfers? Or, hey, you know, what kind of marketing tactics are you doing right here? Or, I learned this early on when I first started YouTube, was I started talking about some of the brands that I was doing. I used to run a brand called Pushing Pedals years ago when I first started the channel. I'll use it as an example for everybody, so that I could say, hey, check it out. This is what I'm doing on Pushing Pedals. This is what I'm doing. Then people started going to the Pushing Pedals site or to the Instagram page where I'm engaging with customers, and then they would chime in with, hey, Big Brando, blah, 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 asking questions about YouTube and confusing my actual paying customers with, what YouTube channel is this person talking about? Who the fuck is Big Brando? And all of that. So I like to keep the shit separate for business purposes alone. You know what I mean? If you have any questions about YouTube, it's cool to just ask on Big Brando TV on my Instagram page for that. Not on an actual brand's page, right? I see DMs in some of the brand pages that I run that people find and say, hey, Big Brando, fucking thanks for the video of this, blah, blah, blah. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But I like to keep the shit separate, right? Well, there's a lot of people that started finding some of the brands that I run, and then they started ordering shirts, which is cool. Nothing wrong with that. But they're ordering shirts just because they want to feel what the transfers feels like that I offer for my customers, right? There's nothing wrong with that shit either. So I understood that, and I understood the need to create my own sample pack for anybody that was interested, right? So people that are buying shirts because they're buying shirts just to see what the transfer feels like, to support me, whatever it is, fucking cool, man. But now I offer a sample pack. So now if you buy a t-shirt from me, it's going to come with a sample pack that's full of transfers, right? So who I use for multicolor shit, who I use for opaque prints like neck labels, that's going to be in there. Who I use for 2-color designs. I don't know if you can see that's a 2-color design. But so you guys see that video of me doing the Gardena Originals t-shirt design, and it's 2 colors, gray and white, and everybody says, hey, where'd you order those transfers from? Blah blah blah. Now you got your own transfer sample to check out. Press on your own. Heat transfer vinyl. People all say, hey man, what heat transfer vinyl do you use? What do you recommend? That's going to be in there. There's a design cut out in here. You just weed it out, press it on. You know what I mean? Also in there is you're going to get a t-shirt printed on All Style. You're going to get a t-shirt with my face on it. Get That Money logo is going to be included in there too. And then on top of that, you're going to get lightweight mask. And then I'm also going to be offering, if for the people that don't want my fucking face on a t-shirt, I get that. I'm going to just offer a mask, cotton mask. Let me backtrack a little bit. The reason I'm doing this is so I could link all you guys to exactly what I'm buying. So direct link to lightweight mask, direct link to transfers to these transfers, direct link to the company I went to for these, direct link for heat transfer vinyl, direct link for die cut, kiss cut stickers. People always ask about that shit. It's going to be direct linked, all of that shit in these sample packs. The reason why I created this is people, if you buy the list, people order and then they're like, I don't like the feel of that shit, or I don't like the feel of this, or I wanted something more opaque, or I wanted something less opaque. In order to take away all the confusion, I'm just going to send out samples to people that want to test the shit out. You know what I mean? I bought this shit with my own money, man. Like, this shit, I paid for the transfers. I cut them out myself. I'm bagging them up myself. I paid for all this shit. Heat transfer vinyl, I paid for the shit. Cut it out, bag it up, send it out to people. Like, the shit isn't free where it's just like, oh man, I'm doing everything on my own and I'm sending the shit out to the people that want it. Now, do you have to buy this shit? Fuck no. You could go to any transfer company and order a sample pack from them, and that company will send you transfers, sample transfers for you to test out at home and all that shit. You know what I mean? You do not have to get it through me. If you wanted to know exactly who I use, what I use, ink formulas, all that shit, and then test it out for yourself to even see if you even wanted to go that route, then you would come through me. But if you didn't even want that information and you said, fuck you, I could go to any transfer company I want and get samples on my own, by all means, go for it. There is nothing wrong with that shit. If you guys wanted to do the shit, be my guest. I advise everybody to test out samples before they order to save yourself money. You know what I mean? That's all it is, man. But I wanted to talk about it because in some of my videos, you guys hear me talk about the shit. And in some of my videos, I kind of show briefly. Obviously, Patreon sees what I'm going to put in them. Excuse me. But I wanted to be fully transparent with what the fuck it is. That's why I'm doing this live. Was I wanted to show exactly what you're going to get in there. And you're going to get multiples of each one. Like this one, you're going to get a few of these. You're going to get a few of these transfers. So it's like, I'll tell you right now. This transfer right here is the company that I would use for my neck labels, for opaque prints. They're all soft hand feel prints. This one is a different company that's a little not as opaque, but it's soft. You guys see the videos where I'm pressing shirts up? That's the company I'm using is right here. I'm gonna leave the direct link for the shit inside the sample pack. On top of that, it's gonna have pressing instructions, right? People hit me up all the time and say, hey, I bought the same exact press as you. I'm using the same exact transfers that you're using from the list. How can I apply these, right? Well, what are your settings for application? All that stuff. I'm going to give you the manufacturer's recommended instructions, right? So say it says 350 for 10 seconds. So I'm going to put the recommended application instructions from the company, and then right underneath that, it's going to have the settings that I personally use for that certain transfer. If that helps you, cool. If it doesn't, you can always adjust those settings to make it work for you and your own setup. The reason why I'm doing that is because that's the questions that I get all the time, I'm trying to answer them all within one little small little package. You know what I mean? I want people to be able to say, all right, this is the transfer that he uses. This is what he presses it at. Now I like the way it feels. I tested it for myself. Now I can order transfers from this company and start selling to people. That's all it is. You know what I mean? That's basically the only reason why I'm offering this, is because I want people to have the information, but I also want the people to understand wholeheartedly what I do and how I do it from home, just like you guys. You know what I mean? So transfer company, pressing instructions, how I press it, my settings that work for myself, who I get my die cut and kiss cut stickers from, who I get like where to buy cotton masks. I'm gonna direct link fucking cotton masks to the shit. The lightweight masks, I'm gonna direct link these. What else is gonna be in that shit? Oh, there's also people that are gonna be like, hey man, what t-shirt do you use? I'm gonna send you this little fucking print on this shirt that I use, so you guys could see, feel. There's people that hit me up all the time and say, hey, what shirt do you use? And I tell them, and they're like, man, I don't like that shit. Or they never even felt what that type of shirt feels like. You know what I mean? They don't understand. They think All Style just makes one type of shirt. Or they say my vendor doesn't have it. All that shit. I'm going to direct link everything in these sample packs, all right? Hopefully this shit helps you guys out. I'm doing all this shit on my own. I'm cutting out everything. I'm bagging all the shit up. I'm pressing the labels up, doing everything on my own just to get you guys this information. And if you guys don't need it, don't buy it. You know what I mean? It's simple as that. All right, let me see. I'm going to try to go back and read through a bunch of these comments, man. All right, here you go. Forex Pro Club, when printing letters along the side, vertical, in your opinion, what dimensions do you recommend? You got to measure the shit out. Of one, I never do vertical letters on the side. Like if you talk about under the arm or some shit, I never do that. So you would have to measure it out and then see exactly like what looks good for that type of print. Sublimation transfers already printed. I don't know who does that. But if you're just looking for like the blank paper, you could get it through Heat Press Nation. How much should I charge? I have everything, just never did that big of an order for mass, 100 to 500. Oh, how much to charge for the shit? I don't know what your labor's worth, Damien. You have to charge what each mask costs, how you're printing it, what that material cost is, and then what your labor's worth. How long does it take you to press some masks? Time yourself, see how many you could do in an hour. You know what I mean? That way you could have a better idea on what it's going to take for you to actually print the shit up. And then that's what you charge them. How does one go about obtaining your sample pack? What's your total cost? The sample packs are going to be uploaded on my site, possibly tonight, possibly tomorrow. I just got to take the pictures, put the description up. You know what I mean? I got to do all the logistics of the shit, but it'll be $2 shipping, be like 25 bucks. The cotton mask one, if for the people that don't want a t-shirt, like say if you just don't want a shirt and you just wanted the sample pack, but you don't want the shirt, I'm gonna make a cheaper version where it's gonna come with a cotton mask, and then the cotton mask one is gonna be cheaper than the t-shirt one, obviously, because these are cheaper than t-shirts. Let me see. My wife and I just did our first show and we did better than we had expected. Thanks to your latest video. My question to you is this. MJ, congrats on the show. That's fucking dope, man. POD sucks for brands, in my opinion, and from my experience, it's too much of a gamble, being that you don't have quality control and basically crossing your fingers that customers are happy with it. Local Bones is absolutely correct. There's people that send me their shirts from Printful, or no wait, Teespring, I think that's one of them. They send me their shirts. Well, they just get them drop shipped to me, and the print was crooked. The print was like really, really high up on the collar. It was crazy. Wanting to buy more equipment for the next purchase, deciding between embroidery machine or sublimation printer. Which one should I decide? Struggling, need them both. That's going to be based on you, man. I can't tell you, because I don't know what the nature of your business is. If you have a need for sublimation, then you get the sublimation. If you have a need for embroidery, like, which one is going to pay itself off quicker? That's like, there's no way that I personally can tell you which one you should buy, right? I don't know what kind of embroidery machine you're looking into. I don't even know what kind of sublimation printer you're looking into. I would go based off of where the clientele's at, where the money's going to come in, and how am I going to pay that shit off as quick as possible. What does it mean if the transfer isn't sticking down on the shirt completely after the press? Is it a matter of heat, time, or a matter of pressure? Most of the time, peeling and shit like that is a matter of pressure and also moisture in the shirt. So when you pre-press the shirt, I know a lot of people pre-press it and they feel that they're just pre-pressing it to make the shirt smooth and flat. But what you're doing is you're taking a lot of that moisture out of the shirt, because there's no steam in the heat press, right? The heat press is just like a hot iron. There's no steam, there's no water involved. But if steam is coming up off of your shirt, that means your shirt is retaining moisture. So when a shirt retains moisture, the transfer, heat transfer vinyl, plastisol transfer, any kind of transfer isn't going to adhere, because the moisture is going to be in the shirt. So you want to pre-press to get all of that moisture out. All right, let me see. POD margins are whack. Eric G, what's happening? When designing for other brands, do you prefer full front designs or just a chest hit? I have a lot of full front designs, but thinking about shrinking down so I can gang sheet. Thoughts? I go based off of whatever I feel. Sometimes I do full front hits. Sometimes I do a small chest print and a big back print. Sometimes I do two big. I do a big front and a big back. Sometimes I just do all fronts. It just depends on what I actually like when I'm looking at shit. You know what I mean? Sometimes certain designs look better as a back print than it does a front print. But then also sometimes designs look a whole lot better on the front than it would on the back. So it just goes... When I start designing, I figure the placement out after the fact. Pon Solo, what's up, man? Big Brando, have you heard about the new Next Level 1800? Supposed to be an All-Style 1301 competitor. Getting my sample soon. I haven't personally seen that or heard of that, but fucking dope, man. Let us know how the samples work out. It's like when I do the hot peel, the transfer is stuck to the shirt and the transfer sheet. All right. Sketches to Designs, what's happening? Naptro, what's happening? Crush Bent, what's up? So the sample pack is basically hard copies of everything from the list. Not necessarily DP. So the list still relevant, still good, still works. Information is still accurate, minus wild side transfers. But how can I explain it? With the way all these companies work, they're constantly evolving ink formulas. They're constantly evolving pricing. They're constantly evolving technology on how they print. All of that stuff plays into the end user, us, right? The people that are buying. So a lot of the companies that I order from on the list, they all have new ink formulas. They all they're offering all kind of new shit, right? Some of them are offering water-based shit. Some of them are offering hot peel, cold peel. Some of them are offering all kinds of different shit. The sample pack is just the transfers that I'm currently using. Everybody sees the videos of me pressing like the Gardena original shit. Everybody sees me pressing some of the Ryder shit, all of that stuff. And the main question is, A, where do you buy those transfers from? What transfer is that? All of that stuff. So the reason for this sample pack is people were buying the Gardena original shirt. People that don't even live in Gardena. It makes no sense for somebody that doesn't know anything about Gardena to buy a Gardena original shirt just to see what the transfer feels like is fucking mind-blowing to me. So in order to pretty much stop all that shit is me offering these sample packs of, this is exactly the transfer I'm using in this video. This is the exact transfer I'm using in this video. You try the shit out for yourself. If you like it, cool. If you don't like it, then you don't waste your money trying to order the shit. You know what I mean? It's just always about taking the risk out for anybody that watches my channel, because wasting money is the worst fucking thing ever, man. That's one of the main things that I try to get across to everybody is do not waste money when you're trying to make money. MTF Productions, what's happening, man? Sonny Gonzalez, is the sample pack available? Not yet. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow morning, but it's going to be going up this week for sure. I got all the pieces to the puzzle. I'm no longer waiting on nobody. This is what you're going to get. A rough estimate of the shit that you're going to be getting. Hold up. All right. Double color. Single color opaque. Multicolor. Single color from the videos. Die cut stickers. Lightweight mass. T-shirt. Could have swore there's some. Oh, and heat transfer vinyl. All of these are the things that I currently use now, today, right now, as I'm pressing. All of these things are the fucking things that I use. My neck label hits, shit like this. All of that is going to be in this sample pack for you to try out. I'm also going to be making some videos on showing you guys how to get the most out of the samples. Not just my shit, but any sample that you order from anybody. I'm going to show you how to get the most out of it, how to test out your settings, how to dial in your settings. All of those videos are going to be coming this week. All right, let me see. But like I said, you guys do not have to buy this shit. If you already have transfers that you use, if you already have companies that you like, I'm not trying to change your mind on why you should be shopping through me or using the transfers. If you already have something that you like, stick with that shit. Trust me. Let me see. Samplepack's fantastic idea. I've been watching your channel for a little over a year, and I've seen the growth in your business and following. Wishing you most success. Thank you. Ponsolo, I appreciate that, dog. Ponce. Smoke is crazy out here in LA, man. All right. Starting off, do you recommend white t-shirts or black t-shirts? I do nothing but black t-shirts. Like, this is the back of my car. There's t-shirts all back here. There's a fucking heat press back here. Can you see that shit? I got all kind of shit in the back of my car. But I mainly do black shirts. Like, I got dozens of shirts back here. Black shirts. There's a dozen black shirts printed. Heat presses. There's all kind of shit in my car. But I do nothing but black shirts. I mean, I do heather gray every now and then, but I do black because that's the most popular color t-shirt. I never have good luck with white. Some people do. I don't. Where do you go to get that pack? And do you foresee running out of them? If you're talking about the sample packs, I don't foresee myself running out. If I do, it'll probably be because I sell out of the shirt and then I have to re-up the shirts and shit like that. But as far as the samples, like I said, I'm buying these shits myself, so I got a shitload of them. So I just keep rolling until I need a re-up. Why you keep looking to the left and to the right? Because there's a lot of cars passing by right here. Let me see. Any link for that FWTS tank you had on in your video the other day? Oh yeah, just go to FWTS 1904. FWTS 1904. That's his Instagram page, and then hit him up. I don't know what his exact website link is. Information you provide to us. Not a problem. Rudy, where do you get your font, or do you create your own? I do both. Long ass time ago, I bought a CD at Best Buy, and it had 10,000 fonts on there. This is how long ago it was when Best Buy actually used to sell software and shit. I bought a CD that had 10,000 fonts. It was on sale. I'm still going through a lot of those fonts now, but I buy them. I'll create my own. I do my own custom lettering sometimes. It all depends what I'm feeling and what I'm trying to accomplish. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Caught up. How do you go about to buy your products? Wait, Big B, how do I go about to buy your product? Oh, if you're trying to buy like sample packs and shit, it'll be on my website. Sketches to Designs to get you a sample to answer 90 to 95% of your questions. I appreciate that, Sketches to Designs. Been following you for years. You steered me wrong. DP, I appreciate that, man. You dig lifestyle. What's happening? Polly C, what's up, bro? Depends on the business need. Is it more embroidery, or you guys talking about the dude that wanted to buy the sublimation or embroidery machine? Yeah, I say embroidery if that's where the business is going to be at, because I would see that would pay for itself. But if you have a big following or need for sublimation, then you would go that way. But it all depends on the business. Sample packs are going to be like $200 to like $250. Nah, fuck that, man. Shit's gonna be like 20, 25 bucks. The mask one will probably be like 10 to 15 bucks, some shit like that. Try to keep it as affordable as possible. Like I said, I'm buying all this shit on my own. I'm buying the transfers, buying the shirts. I'm buying everything. So you guys are basically gonna get the shit at cost. Looking into getting an embroidery machine myself right now, and it's $15K. Yep. When I was looking into it, we're looking at $27K, I think it was. Message you on Instagram from my page, KBN. Don't know how much you check it. Yeah, ask all your questions right here. Grimy Official. If you got questions, ask them right here. It'll be the easiest way to get it answered. What is the best graphic printer to use? Like, I have an Epson EcoTank right now. Do you make a full full print graphics. No, I use Plastisol transfers for everything I do. I have a sublimation printer, but I just use that for masks, socks, and mugs. But everything else is done through Plastisol transfer. Do you notice any preference in shirts style, like a pocket, large print on the back, or large only on the front, or only on the back, when it comes to what men prefer versus women? Women don't really buy shirts with big prints on the back because their hair covers the print. It's the same when you press like a hoodie. The hood lays down and covers half of the back. So a lot of times when you do a big print on the back of your hoodie, a lot of times you can't see the full thing because the hood is covering it. So same thing with female shirts, your hair covers the print. I rarely sell female shirts, but front print, back print, it's all the same. As long as the design is cool and relatable, that's when people actually buy. Be hard. Need some motivation to get started. Have a bunch of t-shirt equipment and even ideas, but having trouble getting going. You got to start knocking those ideas down. If you had, let's say, 13 ideas for t-shirt designs that you want to do, take the one that you keep relying on, the one that you keep thinking about, and put that into the market and see what happens. Then keep going from there. It's just one at a time, man. If you try to do all 13 at once, you're going to fuck yourself up. You got to just do one at a time. Each idea, knock it down, see what it is. Next one, knock it down, see what it is. That's how the shit works. What program or app do you use to make your file a vector/PDF? I use Photoshop and Illustrator for my vectors. Have you ever tried goof-proof transfers? Yes, I have. I see what you're saying. Yep. How do you control dye migration on those lightweight masks? White Thermoflex turns dark after a few days. I haven't had that issue yet. The one thing that I've noticed, and I don't know if this is just, I actually don't know what it is. When I use Caesar heat transfer vinyl, like white on the mask, I get dye migration. But then if I use Thermoflex or if I use B-Flex, I don't get it. The weird thing is Thermoflex and Caesar kind of press at the same temps. So I don't know why Thermoflex wouldn't have a lot of dye migration like Caesar does. But B-Flex presses at a really low temp. And that's why it's been working out pretty good for me. That's been my biggest thing. Because I do a lot of white. Like if you guys seen the skull one that I do. I've been doing that for a while and haven't had no issues. That's done with B-Flex and Thermoflex. Appreciate everybody for answering other people's questions, man. That's dope as shit. Double color transfers look nice. I appreciate that. Goof-proof transfer is just a ink formula. Are you going to have transfers from the homie Diz? Nah, I don't know if Diz is gonna make any transfers for the pack. Where can we get designs for t-shirts? Hire a graphic designer if you're not creating them yourself. Chino, that'll be the best way. Diz Majiz is dope. Jerry Mendez is dope. That's just off the top. Is there going to be super color in the sample pack? Super color will be in the sample pack. That's another thing, is a lot of people are curious to see what it feels like, right? I'm the same exact way. It's one thing looking at some shit on your computer screen or your phone, but then it's another thing when you actually feel it, right? And that's the main thing I want to get across with like shit like this, like single color stuff. This shit is fucking in the fucking shirt, and there's no way to really describe it unless you actually feel it. You know what I mean? So that's why I want to send out these sample packs so people could test the shit out themselves and be like, oh yeah, now I see what he's talking about. Or, oh yeah, I don't like the way that shit looks. All of that is going to be just personal preference. Some people are going to be like, oh man, that print feels too soft. I don't like that shit. I want a heavier print. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's just personal preference. These are just the transfers and the ink formulas that I currently use right now that people keep asking about. So that's why I'm going to offer it. Let me see. Been using Heat Transfer Express. Shit, they are on the expensive side. Quality is good, but would like to find another venue price-wise. Got to save a penny here and there. Yeah, you got to remember, a lot of those price breaks are when you order more than 100. You know what I mean? That's when you start making it work for yourself. I don't want to get excited, but Supercolor looks promising. Just ordered a minimum order from them to test out. There you go. That's how you get it going, man. LA, why you think he looking to left and right? I just tuned in. I'm new. Sorry if you already answered this. Where do you get your shirts? And do you ever use cotton polyester blends? Nutshell, I personally really don't use too many blended shirts. My target audience likes 100% cotton. I use All Style. I use Pro Club. Those are two companies that I use all the time for different reasons. Clientele-wise, two of the brands that I run love Pro Club. They're from LA. They understand what a Pro Club t-shirt is, and it's a big selling point for myself. Other brands, I use All Style, 1301, 1701. The reason I use those is because sizing for that target audience is, they know what that t-shirt feels like. They know their size. It's an easy selling point. I go based off of convenience, making the sale easier, shit like that. You know what I mean? Let me see. All right, I'm gonna answer a few more questions, then I got to get out of here. So much for answering the question. Last one. If we wanted to send you something for the unboxing, just as a thank you for what you do, what do you prefer to see and or get? Whatever y'all want to send, man. Every boxing session video has an address in there where to send it to. Whatever you want to send. Gilbert from South Texas, what's happening? Boosting, what up, man? How do I get a sample pack? Late to the live chat. Your work ethic has inspired me to get my wheels rolling. Fuck yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. Literally wheelchair. Fuck, that's even better. Check out your videos every day. I appreciate that, Luke. Sample packs are going to be uploaded tonight or tomorrow. Tonight or tomorrow. Keep up the great content. Vigilant and humble. I appreciate that. Manny CC. Oh man, you're gonna be paying for full color transfers. You got to remember that Supercolor isn't a plastisol print. So a lot of people, when they get it, they think that's a plastisol print, but it's not. Plastisol is the ink. So Supercolor is a water-based ink. To some people, they probably don't give a fuck. But to some people, they actually care. If it's water-based or plastisol, they want to know what the ink formula is because they have to know how it holds up or what it is or what they're offering. 90%, I would say 90 to 80% of screen printed t-shirts is done with plastisol ink. There's other people that do discharge. There's other people that do water-based. But most of the shit that you see in stores, most of the shit you see everywhere is a plastisol ink. And that when you hear plastisol transfers, it's plastisol ink on a transfer. Supercolor is not a plastisol ink. It's a water-based ink. It's also not a screen printed transfer. It's printed from a digital machine. So that's why they could get these really buttery smooth gradients and shit like that. So just remember, when it comes to that kind of shit, it's plastisol transfer isn't the name of the transfer. That's the name of the ink. So if you're looking for actual plastisol ink, Supercolor wouldn't be it. But if you didn't give a fuck about that and water-based or whatever it is, you just want multicolor, by all means, man. And then I think I have direct links to Supercolor. It's like supercolor.bigbrando.com. So if you wanted to order that shit, you just go there, supercolor.bigbrando.com, order up, you're good to go, man. Manny CC said, I checked them out, but it seemed a bit pricey for larger stuff. Anything multicolor is going to be pricey. There's no cheap way around multicolor stuff, because the more colors in a print, the more expensive it's going to be. If you're doing single color, you could get cheap transfers all day long, but that's single color. You have to, when it comes to multicolor shit, a lot of people want it to be priced exactly like single color, but that's not how it is. The more colors in a print, the more expensive it's going to be. That's just for any kind of printing. You know what I mean? Even lithographic printing, reprographic printing, all that shit, more colors in a print, the more expensive it is. Let me see. Okay, here we go. What's the best heat press that's affordable? I keep postponing for months, then it takes longer because most shipping times are a week or more. Instant Money All-Stars, I would say the Craft Pro. Got to be the best affordable press. Functionality, quality of press, say Craft Pro. Go to hpn.bigbrando.com. Check out the Craft Pro. Solid press. Sawgrass SG500, good to use on shirts, hoodies. No, it's not. Jake Ortiz, you got to remember, sublimation is best on polyester. If your shirt and hoodie isn't 100% polyester, you're gonna waste your money buying a printer like that. Now you're gonna see a lot of people say, oh man, you could get Sublicotton and you could be able to sublimate on cotton. That's not sublimating on cotton. You're sublimating onto kind of like a heat transfer vinyl, and then you press that on the shirt. So it's not actually sublimating onto the cotton. Sublimation is dyeing fabric. That's all it is. You can't dye cotton with sublimation. It's just not in the material. But you can dye polyester. So that's why dye sublimation works best on 100% polyester. So if you're looking into getting the SG500, you're buying a sublimation printer. So understand that that is made for sublimation. Where you get the bottom platen cover for the heat press? Heat Press Nation has them. I think I got links to the shit in my videos. Just go to the bottom of the description box and it should be on there. Usually whatever I'm using in the videos, I try to link that shit. It's good. Brando, are they still doing trade shows? Not that I know of. I don't know of any trade shows going on. Inked Up Designs, what's up, man? I know you don't use sublimation for shirts much, but any advice from you or anyone on which brand model tee that has good feel? All the poly rich or full poly ones I've tried have been stretchy. Yeah, you're gonna get that in any polyester shirt. For sublimation, I never use that kind of stuff. So it's hard to say like who has a good one, because I personally don't use white sublimate or white polyester shirts for sublimation. Natural still here listening. Appreciate that. Best place to get Pro Club tees for the low. Direct from Pro Club. I go directly to Pro Club and buy from them. The reason I do that is because they're located in my city. They're located in Gardena. I just go over there, pick them up. Thank you for answering my question. Not a problem. Nutshell. How do you target your market? I figure out exactly who I want to sell to. Then I find those fuckers on Instagram, and all I do is engage with them. Talk to them. Open conversations. Don't sell them shit. I don't sell nobody nothing in my comments. All I do is just open a normal conversation. Hey, that's a cool looking dog. What kind of dog is that? Hey, those are cool shoes. Where'd you get them from? Hey, that's a new car. You know, what model is that? Or whatever it is. Just basic ass shit. And then I let my products do the selling themselves. They click on the page, they see my products, and it's up to them to sell. The reason why I do it that way is because everybody's trying to sell people on shit. Everybody. There's not one person that doesn't try to sell people on something. You know what I mean? So people are numb to the shit. If you're sitting there trying to sell them on shit, they're going to be like, oh, this is just another motherfucker trying to scam me or another motherfucker trying to sell me shit. Fuck that. All you do is open up a regular conversation. Normal human beings will answer the questions, right? Hey, man, that's cool. You know, that pizza looks good. People post pictures of their food. Hey, that pizza looks good. Where'd you get it from? Oh, I go here. Blah, blah, blah. Open up general conversation. That's all it is, man. A lot of people have this weird misconception that they have to go into somebody's comments and say, hey, check out my new shirt, man. You'll love it. That shit don't work because people are just numb to the shit where they don't even give a fuck about that. But what they could do is just be like, hey, talk to them like a normal human being. Curiosity gets the best of them. And then they look at your page and, oh, shit, next thing you know, the first 6 pictures that they see are T-shirts that are relatable to them. How is it relatable to them? Because you handpicked that customer. You already did your research. You know that that customer has some sort of general interest in your products, and you went there to them and opened a conversation with them. That's all it is. That's how telemarketing used to work, all that shit. Cold calls didn't work that way. But when you had really good leads, like let's say you're in a wheelchair, like the homie, somebody was in here talking about a wheelchair, right? The way that any person that's trying to sell something to somebody in a wheelchair, they'll have that little bit of information knowing that this person lives in a wheelchair. So they'll be able to sell them shit for their wheelchair or a new wheelchair, whatever it is. You know what I mean? So somebody that's trying to sell wheelchair shit isn't going to target me because I don't use a wheelchair. You know what I mean? So you do the same exact thing for your brand. Your brand has a target audience. If you should know who that target audience is, so that target audience is somebody that you're going to go to and you're not even going to talk about your t-shirts. All you're going to talk about is whatever the fuck they're posting about. Hey, check it out. I'm a Laker fan. And then you could go in there and be like, man, did you watch last night's game? That shit was crazy. Or you just fucking anything. If you know how to open a conversation, that's all you're doing is opening a conversation with somebody in the comments. Now do this shit to like 20 people a day. Then the next week, do it to like 40 people a day. You'll see how easy it is to open conversations because fuck, we're on our phone all the time anyways. So use social media to your advantage. When it comes to targeting your audience, use social media like fuck, man. That shit should be second nature to you. If you have an online store and you're trying to sell something, just talk to people. If you don't, you could fucking be, what do they call introverts, extroverts, the ones that don't like talking to people in public. You could be one of those because you're just talking through comments and text and shit like that. You know what I mean? Hopefully this helps you out. I don't know who asked that question, but it seems overwhelming and daunting when you're thinking about targeting people. But fuck that, man. They're potential customers. You need to get them to buy. That's how you do it. That's how I do it, and it works for me. How do you press around seams? You could use like Teflon pillows. You could use mouse pads, shit like that. When I press around a seam or a zipper or something like that, you want to be able to raise up the area that you're pressing on. Is Patreon going to get the scoop on the sample drop first? Fuck yeah, they are. You already know that. Too lit to quit. Will there be a sticker company in the pack for us to use? Fuck yeah, there will be, Harp. We talking die cut stickers, kiss cut stickers. This looks like a rectangle one, but look it. I'm just going to show you this real quick. It's actual die cut sticker. They call this kiss cut because it just kisses it, so it's easy to peel up. That company's going to be in there. All that shit, man. I'm trying to lock down everything that people want in these sample packs. All right. Have you tried the Supreme HTV brand from Printer Supply Warehouse down in LA? If so, how was your experience with it? I have not. Personally, I haven't. I used to buy Thermoflex from Printer Supply. I've tried this other company. I think it was called Results from them. They were cool. I haven't tried Supreme HTV though. Appreciate the answer, my friend. Needed the rundown on Supercolor. Not a problem, man. What has been the biggest takeaway you have experienced during the pandemic? How has COVID affected your business? Lavish exchange. Hasn't affected me none, but made me think more about supply and demand. Supply and demand is the biggest takeaway from this whole thing, is because people panicked and then people were scrambling for mass. You supply the mass, there's people that are hoarding the mass. It's just a small piece of how this shit works. It's like if there's going to be snow in the winter. In the summertime is when you buy your snow boots and snow coats on sale, because the wintertime, everything's going to be sold out. Same goes with fans and AC units. In the wintertime, that's when you buy a fan. That's when you buy an AC unit, because nobody's looking for that shit at that time. So then when the summer hits and it's hot as fuck, hey, what do you know? You already have a fan and an AC because you bought the shit. You planned for it. You know what I mean? Supply and demand. What do you think of EcoSolvent ink? I have no idea about any EcoSolvent anything. I personally don't use any of that, so that's why I don't know anything about it. What's up, bro? Just put all your vids into separate playlists and about to binge watch them. Fuck yeah, appreciate that. Is it worth it to get your wholesale license or to become a t-shirt plug for your city? I don't know. I've never even thought about supplying t-shirts like that. So if you could find an angle for that shit, go for it, man. Lots of gems dropped on this live. Can you upload it to your Patreon? This one will be on Patreon probably tomorrow. If you're only selling locally, is there a pickup option on Big Cartel or Shopify? No, there isn't. But you could set something up like that for yourself. I think you can mark the shit as paid, and then when you do the shipping, I want to say that you just have them fill out their address, but you don't actually ship it, and then you DM them, I guess, or email them to pick up. Trust your word. Since I can't touch actual fabrics, what do you suggest is the best way to figuring out what t-shirts to use? Do you have a video showing what certain t-shirts feel like? Now I have videos showing different t-shirts, but like I said, it all comes down to actual you touching it, because what my preference is might not be what your preference is. You know what I mean? Block with a new yeah, that's right. Would you sell shirts with curse words on them? I personally don't do that. There's nothing wrong with it. My clientele don't want that kind of stuff. You ever use Net 30 companies? No, I personally haven't. What up, big bro? What do you think about inkjet printing on heat transfer paper? I personally don't like that Hiram Silva. Quality, I don't like, and it's not something I want to offer my customers. Got on late, but good to check in. Watch the rest tomorrow. Thanks. As always, Tom, I appreciate that, man. This will be on Patreon tomorrow. All right, guys, I'm about to get up out of here. I appreciate everybody for even jumping on. Sample packs are coming. Like I said, t-shirts, transfers, single color, multicolor, multi-full color, die cut stickers, heat transfer vinyl, mass, all that shit is going to be in there. All right. Catch you guys on the next one, man. Peace.